Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending or thank you for joining us again. My name is Nadia, and for those of you who doesn't know me, and I am your Moroccan cook today. So hopefully we'll cook together, or if you are not cooking together, just give me some questions, ask questions, have a little chat so we can if so we can interact. And we are going to cook some Moroccan vegetable couscous stew, which is last time I promised that when we did the steamed couscous, we did it with the salad. And the salad usually it's we call either you have it cold or warm. If you want it warm, you can do it with the roast vegetables. If you want it cold, you'll do it with chickpeas and tomatoes and peppers and all that chops. Then you mix it with the salad with with a lot of mint and mint leaves and coriander and parsley, and that would give it really nice taste. And summer, yes, summer is coming. A bit of sunshine, barbecues going. So all that kind of food is really lovely. So, but when you do this, when you do this couscous, you might do a lot, so you can eat it different ways. So today we are going to do the stew that usually goes with it. So like if you remember rightly, I did say that couscous is a meal, is a national dish that's Moroccan really very proud of all around the country, and you can dress it up or dress it down as you can. If you have you want just vegetables, put some vegetables in. If you want to, you can add some lamb and or beef, or you can make it even with chicken. Some people do, yes, they do it with chicken as well. Then you can make it for big occasions or small occasions or family and friends gathering. So yes, it's a variety of things you can serve it with and you can use it for. Okay, so let's just start now. Um, Hopefully, our recipe would be of success again. If you did try the steamed couscous, I suppose you made a little bit, but it became like a hip, and you thought, "Oh, what shall I do with it?" I did mention that you can freeze that couscous, and that's what I do all the time when I make couscous grains. I steam them. I make a big batch, and I put it in the containers and freeze it. Then I can take what I need each time I need it. The other thing is when you do it that way, it saves you time and save you the effort of standing in the kitchen and do it like every time you need it. And because it is fluffy, I do understand that. Although you might not say it loudly, but I do understand for people that they are not used to cook, they might find it a bit fluffy and a bit taken a lot of effort to make it that way. So what we need today, well, the main thing, we need our spices. The spices we need are like I said, this is your friendly Moroccan cooking spices. That's that you want to make lovely flavors with these ingredients. But today we are going to use ginger, turmeric, black pepper. They are the ones that we are using, and we are not using any of the others, just because the flavors we need is all from the vegetables and from the onions and all that, and we just add these three spices. The other ones you can obviously, we created some dishes. Hopefully you tried them, and if you haven't, go back to my videos and just check the recipes we've done and try them. They are really lovely. You'll enjoy them, and they are vegan friendly and also vegetarian friendly. So we need about 3 onions, or because the base we are making is like we don't have any meat, so the onion acts as the base of our stew. So you can add 3 or 4 onions, medium size, small to medium size, and that would give you a good thick gravy, like gravy at the end of the cooking. So we need, I said 7 vegetables, so you might think, oh dear, 7 vegetables, that's so lot. When it was, when I came to find them, like at the supermarket, some supermarkets, they don't have some stuff. Like the cabbage, I couldn't find them in the supermarket I went to, and the turnip. But never mind, that's shortage of vegetables, I suppose, in everywhere. Okay, so um, courgettes, one, carrots, aubergine, not turnip, but butternut squash, cabbage, and turnip. You can use a white turnip if you grow in some, or if you have some, they are really lovely. Or you can use what we call here in the UK swede or turnip. I call it yellow turnip. That's they are basically the vegetables where. So then the seventh one is broad beans. Broad beans, you can buy them frozen, or if you grow in some, they are really lovely when they are fresh, and you can use the skin as well as the beans inside. And sometimes they are quite chubby and big. So yes, there you can use you can use them. So to start with, then we need. I added chickpeas, which is really just to make that stew really rich, and to just to allow us. This is would be like protein, a bit of protein in vegetables with the chickpeas and beans. So then we need some tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes, or you can use tin tomato if you don't have fresh ones. And with these, what I would do, because I had some that they were a bit softer, this is a really good way to use the vegetables and what you have in your fridge in a stew. Then you don't to stop throwing it away in the bin, and then you make that stew and you eat more vegetables, and you are not throwing it in the bin, really, to just save some money for yourselves. So I will grate these two. I cut the soft ones, and these two I will grate them with the grater, and that's just to give my juice or my gravy a bit of body, a bit of like thickness. So yeah, that's basically what we need. We need a little bouquet of coriander. If you have coriander and parsley, make a little bouquet of it. If you don't have that much and you just have small quantity, like chopped, or you bought it from the shop and it's all like leafy, just throw a handful in the stew when at the beginning. It just comes with the flavors again. Okay, so to start with, we are not going to we are going to chop the vegetable or chop the onions first. So just to give this like slice them really. That's what I would do. It doesn't have to be. They don't have to be very fine or just rough slicing. And once you do that, sorry, I just remember to put the hob on. So the onions, we'll chop them up. Like I said, it's up to you if you have onions, like two big onions or three. Just put them in, because that's what you're using for your base. Instead, like you don't have meat. And if you do have some meat, or you want to, you might be cooking with me. Are you anybody cooking with me? Just let me know, so I can interact with you, or you can tell me what you are up to. So these are our onions chopped. So once you do that, what you do is you put the hob on. Oops. Oh, oops. Sorry about this. It's something playing here. I don't really know why. I'm not on. That's better. Just put this on. So I'll put my hob on, and what I'll do, I'm using a a mixture of olive oil and vegetable oil. So I would say about half a cup of between the two of them. Yes, you might all know that the price of olive oil is up high, but you can still use it a little bit just to give your food and your whatever you're making a good taste and a bit of more more flavor. Um, and it's a healthier option. So once we do that, we put the onions in. So just put them in like like so, all of them. Oops. I'll just wait for them to start. So put on the. You can hear it start sizzling a bit. I'm just looking for it to just get to warm up. Really, that's what I'm looking to have. Always a bit of salt with your onions. You can always fry it afterwards. And we are going to do this stew like we need a bit of salt later. So once that starts sizzling, the next thing we are going to put in are our spices. And I am not shy with this because when I put the gravy, it would be like I'm covering the vegetables, like really like what you call it, like a soup style, because we need some more some gravy. So I would say about 2 teaspoons of ginger. Like I say, I keep saying to my students, when you come to do it, spoon it. Don't sprinkle it with this kind of food. Um, just be careful with the black pepper because with the black pepper, some people might find it a bit spicy or too spicy for them. But that's what we are doing. Now I'll add my bouquet of just do it like that. If it opens up, it doesn't matter. Everything would go into the gravy. It's quite put this heat on. It's just a medium heat now, so it can. While this is sizzling a bit, what I'll do is I grate my tomatoes. Just move these things so we have a bit of space. I'm going to just grate these two. The other ones, because they are a bit softer, I just leave them as they are. And what you use this part, the big part of the grater. That's what we're doing here now. Oops. keep stirring my pan at the same time. I don't want the spices to burn, or I just want them to go a bit, just to cook a tiny bit. So that's the two. I need one more. I'll just put it in. That's what give me a bit of water, so my spices don't burn. If you see what I mean. For now, that's what I'm doing. Like just stirring the onions, the tomatoes in, and that's the base. Sorry about this noise. The fan on the hob is really loud. So that's my. If you have any questions, just pop them in on the chat. I'll answer you later. I'll be around for a bit after we finish this. So that's really our base getting ready. It's really very straightforward once you prepare this. And if I show you something that now I haven't added any water or anything, but what I have here some like the spices I put in. They thicken the gravy and they thicken the sauce or the base without adding any water. You can see it's really quite thick. I don't want it very thick today because I'm cooking the vegetables within the gravy. If you remember last time, I said that's how it's cooked when it's really when it's steamed over, like the couscous steams on the top, and at the bottom you have like a stew that's cooking, and all the steam goes through the grains to cook them. And I am going to show you how that comes together when I come to do the grains that I had in my freezer. I just warmed them up in front of you. So now what I'll do is I'll just add a bit of water, then I'll prepare my vegetables. So can you see how it is now? And I'm just leaving it for a bit like this. Then I'll come back to it once I just do the vegetables. So what I have here, if I show you, I'll cover that. So just to turn my camera over here and show you the vegetables. Some of the vegetables are already prepared and some that I haven't yet. So, okay, so I chopped them smaller, like cube. This is the turnip. I chopped the butternut squash. I left a bit of skin on. The reason why I left it on is because the butternut squash cooks quickly, and when it cooks quickly, it becomes mushy. I don't want it to become mushy like that. I want to keep hold of itself when it's cooked. So that's how I keep it holding itself. So yes, that's how I keep hold of it. Like I just shape it like that, and then if you find it thicker to eat, you take it off when you're eating. It's a bit funny the way I do it, but that's just one way to show you something. If you don't want the butternut squash to go all mushy, I have carrots. Well, carrots I usually in authentic dish, the dish authentic way, they cook them this size, but I'm not going to cook them this size. I'll make them smaller, and the reason why, because when they come to serve, they make lovely shapes and a lovely decoration with the vegetables as they present in it or as they serve in it, um, uh, to people. So yeah, that's something that we usually do. So all the vegetables are shaped in some in like different ways, and the other thing here now that's I start putting them smaller because of the cooking time, because obviously if they are bigger they take longer. It's all like thinking about all these things, and like really your brain making a meal makes your brain works in different directions, really preparing it and presenting it as well. And like if you are just making a small portion of this, you just need, I would say, two small carrots, or you might just need one big medium sized one for one person, just to try it first and see how you like it. um, like just small portions of vegetables. I treat this like Sunday lunch, really, when you chop the vegetables and you size how many people you have or how many people are eating with you. That's how I see it. Uh, so I have here a courgette, which is again, um, if you like courgettes a lot, you can put put quite a bit. If not, just put few circles, and and you can, like I said, you can chop them in different ways, like circle or like little batons, but they still have to be chunkier because we want them to keep the shape. Okay, so then we have a cabbage here. I'm not going to use all this cabbage because it's a lot. So I would chop it this way, and I'll use the parts where the stalk is, so it stays all together. Keep our eye on the. So once you do this, that's your cabbages, like one part for per person, which is will be enough, I suppose. Then we have some aubergine. Aubergines are really funny things. So what I would say, to leave them until the end, then chop them, because they go black, and I don't really want them to become really darker before I put them in the stew. So I'll just leave them for now, and I will come back to them. Okay, so this is my vegetable done, and you might say, "Oh, that's really a lot," and you can say all the vegetables that we use for Sunday lunch or Sunday dinner is there, all of them, or some kind of broth or some. So everything is there, like really good selection of vegetables. Let's just turn our camera again, and what I'm going to do now is putting more water in. You can put hot water, and I'm looking to have half of that, half of the pan. Like I would say, I put about 1 liter of water here. Then straight away when I do that, I'll add the stock cube. And really, I know I'm using a lot of vegetable. You might say to me, "Oh well, we don't like the stock cube, the vegetable vegetables are good enough, but just for extra flavors, really. Um, and because we are not using any meat, that would help. The other thing you can do if you are on budget, or if you had some uh, bones that you make, you can just put them in. That would give extra flavor to the stew. But if you want to keep it vegetarian or slash vegan, just leave it like that. So now what I'll do is I will put the vegetables that takes longer to cook. And what's what's the vegetable that takes longer to cook here is turnip. We have to have put in the turnips and the carrots. They are the ones that they take longer. And once they start to soften, that just tiny bit softer, I would I would I would put the rest of the vegetables in. If anyone that's really loves their vegetables and they want to try this, because it's completely different, like cooking the vegetable, we all know that cooking the vegetables like um, in all in one pot with the like a gravy thing, it's quite nice, and all the goodness stays there, so you're not throwing anything away, really. Sorry, I'm taking longer for this. He wants all that goodness to stay in. All more carrots. What's that? There are all the carrots there, and all the. Oops. Okay. So that's one. The first selection of vegetables gone in. So then we'll add some more. So the next bit would be the rest of the vegetables with the aubergine and the peas, or not the peas, the beans. Any questions, please put them down there, and I'll come back to you, and I will answer you about anything there. Okay, so let's just show you how the couscous came from the freezer. This is my I put it on the microwave to defrost before I. So this is how it is. It just looks like you just made it. Look, it's fluffy, it's nice, and it's really. I just defrost it to use, so it's easy for me now. That's when I do it with you. So it's nothing, no, no difference to what we have or what we had before. So what you can do, you can heat it up in the microwave, then put it on your serving bowls and put the vegetables on, like I will show you. Or you can heat it up on the top of the pan with the steamer. You remember the steamer that we had before, that we used to steam the couscous. So what I'll do is I'll just put my couscous there. You might say, "Oh, that's a lot of couscous." I put that much so I can show you the whole thing, how it's displayed and everything. and this would feed about 4 people, 4 to 5 people. um, because some people they like more couscous, and believe me, if you eat it like this, you would like it. It's completely different to what you are used to just with boiling water. So what I'll do, I'll put it on the top of my steam on my pan, like so. Look, and that would steam it again, just for heating up really. Once the and that's our. We just put the heater on higher, so it brings it to the boil. So yes, that's basically what we do with it, and that's how it's done when it's done with like a meal, not couscous for salads. That's how it's done. Um, yes, please keep. Sorry about this camera stand is right in front of me. Please keep your questions coming. If you have any questions, please share them with me. And if you did couscous like this, please let us know. And yes, share your experiences with us, please. So while I'm waiting, I'll just chop my aubergines. And I just need half aubergine. I don't really need the full one because this one is quite big. If you see what I mean, it's and I just chop it like that. I take the top bit and leave this bit here. You can slice it and you can make a another dish with, or you can fry it or chop it up in a lasagna or something, like with the something you can do something with it. I would slice it and fry the aubergines. They are really nice like that. Just chop them like so. And they do cook quicker as well, the aubergines. They don't take this little bit. Chop it up again. The main thing is preparing the vegetables, and yeah, if you have the couscous steamed, that's half the battle. So yes, you can just yeah, and you can say that even that little heart of the aubergine, it can be used, and it's there. It's given a shape, a different look to the aubergine piece. So you can see it that way. So I'm waiting for my couscous to steam so I can get it out and then start put the rest of the vegetables. Once I'll have the vegetables that I put in already just getting started to boil, because uh, when I do when I do Sunday lunch, or I usually like boil the vegetable for 15 to 20 minutes, so they are not very like soggy, what's just like cooked, and you would know how much that the turnip and the carrots takes to cook. Please, any questions? Just keep sending questions if you have any, and I will get back to you. I will answer your questions. Hi, Irene. Yes. So it's this is the passion the main part is to be patient and like wait for everything to get ready and all that. If you have any questions with regards to other recipes that I've done with you, please um, please let me know, because I am here waiting now, and I can answer anything, uh, any uh, any of your thoughts. Or you might say, oh, that's really, it doesn't look like it's just like, it looks like it just done. And you would think that because you had it in the freezer, it might not come like this, but it's honestly, that's what it is. um I won't say that I kept it from last time that I did it with you, but I did quite a bit since. So every time I do couscous, I freeze some. Like I said, it's really lifesaver. Uh, and with this couscous meal, you can make it with vegetables. Then or you can make it another time. I'll show you another recipe which is sweet, and you make it with some sweet, like caramelized onions and almonds, and like I said, you can dress it up or dress it down with some chickens, like chicken or little like the cooker, and you bury it all under the couscous. Then you don't know it's meat there, and you are just eating until you come across the meat. It's really a variety of ways. So, at this point, it takes longer when you are not looking. It bubbles really quickly, but when you need it to, it doesn't. It's, it's always like that. The watch kettle never boil, as they say. Yeah. If you want to experiment with some different vegetables than this, you can do. If you have any preferences, just please do try, do share with us what you've used and how it was. How was it for you? Was it like you thought it would be, or but you always, what I encourage people to do is always try the authentic recipe. Or if you've been to Morocco, you might have had it already, you might have know about it. You had this meal, but try it, and then if you want to experiment, yeah, then experiment with it. It's really lovely to try different ways. If you have children, another thing that I would say, if you have children, please, yes, you can put potatoes in, like so they can have potatoes and carrots. So it's something that I haven't been growing up with, but some families nowadays, small picky children, so they do use potatoes in the couscous stew. Um, yes, something. One more thing. Or I won't stop. Something else. If you like it spicy, what you can do is you can put a whole chili in, like just like so, and you take it out, like a chili like this. Then you are going to take it out when you're serving, and just have so the person who likes the heat, they can have it. You can use one or two. It's up to you how much heat you like. Instead of then, obviously the children won't have the heat that's at the same time as adults. For warming up your couscous this way, just like I said, you can do it with the tips of your fingers, or just take a fork or at the end of the spoon or wooden spoon, and just go like this. And the smell, I would just love to share it with you because it's really lovely. I had this couscous, I had a saffron couscous. I made something with it, and the smell of it is so nice. You can add some saffron if you have some in your for your inside your stew with the vegetables as well, just to give it that extra taste. Saffron is always nice with so many things. If you have some and you want to use it in your food, yeah. It's all these little tips and hints that you learn, and you just try and see if you like them, you go with them. If you don't, you try something different. It's always good. So yes, it's coming to. You might have observed before that, like, if you haven't been with us last time and you didn't see this, how to steam the couscous. That's the couscous, the couscousier I call it, or the steamer. It's a dish, or that's I bought it here actually. It's not something that I brought back with me. Um, this one I bought it here, and it's you might say, oh well, how she keeps the couscous with the holes like that. Yes, it does. It does get some of the couscous out, but not all of it. And it won't harm if it's just a little bit. But you won't. Don't be afraid. If as long as it's not really big holes, they won't just all your couscous would stay there. It won't go down into your gravy or anything. It would be there. It won't go into to make a soggy mess or anything. And if it does, very little, not much, it would just go into the gravy, and that's just acts as like as a thickener. Yeah, and just stir. It's coming to the boil now. Yeah. I'll just give it 2 3 minutes, then I'll. Yeah. I'm just waiting for it to boil, then simmer for 2 3 minutes, and I know that's the process of the cooking of the carrots and the turnip started. That's why what I'm looking for. It's always difficult when these hobs, these small electric hobs, they are lovely, but they are a bit tricky to know whether it's bubbling or it's really cooking or not, because they are so quiet, not like the gas. I don't know if you find it that way or just me. I got this stokes in. So I would add the cabbage, because I'm using the part with the stalk, so that would help it to just cook quicker while it's boiling now. What is this again? What's that? Yeah. Any questions, please put them on, and please take a look at other recipes that we've done. If you don't understand anything, something, or you want to know more, please just send me a message on through the village hall, or you send me a message, and I will come back to you. It's I'll be I'll answer the questions. I know sometimes I have put the recipe or on, so how to, and the method, but this is what you have to follow if you want to see how it's done. Watch the videos on the YouTube, then get back to do it, and that would help you to see the how it's all done. Okay, I can hear it probably. Just you don't know how much time. This is the time where you would have to be patient because you wanted your vegetables as you like them really. If you do like I don't know, some people like softer vegetable than others. Some people they like them to keep a bit firm. Others they like them softer. So just it's up to you really. I'm cooking it this way, but it's up to you how you like your vegetables. If you like them softer, leave it longer. If you like them firm, just cook them for a shorter time. And that's how I do it. To be honest, and you can see it's bubbling now. Oops, it's steamed. And what I will do, I just check one of my take it off. So once I take this and I just check it, and I can see it start to be soft, not very soft, but still there. And that is not cooked yet, or I'll just leave it for a bit longer. I know turnip is the worst one for cooking really sometimes because they are quite big. Even when you cook them smaller, they take longer. The other thing I just remembered, if you made this, you make this, and you find yourself left with a lot of vegetables. That vegetables, it can either make it to a soup, like blend it and have a soup, or you can freeze it. And I know some people they don't like frozen vegetables, but if you do that, just make sure you don't leave it for so long. I usually if I freeze it, I leave it to cool down, then freeze it if I have leftovers, and I freeze it just for like a week or 10 days. Then I'll use it up. I don't leave it for a longer time. So it's wow, smell is very lovely. Can we? I wish we could have something to have the smell, to share the smell with our learners, so I can smell the food. For imagine that would be really lovely. So, like you can see, all the steam is coming, like we mentioned in the uh, um, previous session for steaming couscous. So it's the steam is coming from all over. So what I'll do now, I'll just take it off and put my cover on. Oops. Lovely. And next bit, what I'll do, I'll put my vegetables, the rest of the vegetables in. It's every time I put the vegetables in, it cools down the gravy or the sauce. So it's a bit tricky. The quantities of the vegetables, it's up to you. It just like use small vegetables if you are on your own, and you don't want too much. So remember the two peppers. I'll just put them on the top, and they would cook just in that steam. Then I would put here the beans, the broad beans, and just leave everything to cook now slowly. You can see all the lovely lovely colors at the same time I can't take photos because my phone is used. So I just, and the chickpeas I leave them for later, and that because they just need warming up. So here I would just prepare the couscous. I'll turn it over this way. Sorry. And I'll just put it down like so. And once it is done, like when you say, it's this is really in a big dish, which is the base of a tagine. This dish, and what you do is you make it like a little pyramid. Then you make a hole in the middle for the where the vegetables would go. You can do this on your plate or something. I think. If not, just make yourself do it as you like. This is just a bit show off. So would go there are the vegetables in this case. If we had meat, we will put meat there. Then we'll put the vegetables on the top. That's what I am showing here. But for now, I'll just cover it and leave it to wait for the vegetables to cook. I did this in two sessions because I know if I want to do it at once, it does take a longer time. Like so, that's how it's all. So we just have to leave it for now. We'll get the vegetables done. Uh, so lovely. While you waiting or while you're doing this, you can try try the salt. Is if it's enough for you. If not, you can add a bit of salt. So it's tiny bit, just to adjust it to what you are used to. What you want. If you don't want to add any salt with the vegetables, just use the other salts for on the table, so everyone's could take the vegetable they like. Please share your questions with me. I know it's sometimes you don't think about something until the session is over, but just keep sending them. I'll try to answer, or I will answer um, whatever questions you send us. Yeah, it's different. Oh, thank you, Irene. Yeah, it's all these things that you just learn as you grow up with, or if you hear it from one person or to another, and you share it with each other. That's basically what they are. Most of the time, it's and different ways of cooking things and doing things. That's another thing. Everyone's different about cooking their own food, how they like it. My concern is just for at the moment. It's just hopefully the vegetables would cook enough so I can share with you the the display or the. So try that carrots. Oh, that's good. Uh, now I don't have to worry about turnips. Oh, that's good. Very good. It's coming on all right. A little bit more for the cabbage. If you don't have if you don't have the cabbage, like you cooked the part where the stalk is, and you left by with the parts where the leaves are, what you can do is you take a toothpick, like chop it into four, whatever size, and you just hold the leaves together with the toothpick, and that would keep it all together while you're cooking it this way. So yeah, that's one way to do it. If you don't have the. Yeah, I know it won't harm if it's just leaves. Like we cook it, we cook always vegetables like that. But this is just one way to keep them all together. Like I said, with this kind of authentic meals, it just to give you that idea, or to give you that the display, like in Morocco. And if you want to make it like special for your friends or something, just try it that way first. And don't worry if you don't have fresh tomatoes, just use a tin tomato. That's what do it. Just don't use the full tin. Use half of it at the beginning. Like I instead of doing the don't or you don't have to um, use it all. But if you want to, you can use plum tomatoes. Like that's just put them in, and they would be the same as the fresh tomatoes in that aspect of having a bit of tomatoes with your vegetables. Yes, everything is getting really nice. You might think, somebody might say, oh, how do I know this is cooked or that this is not cooked? So what, just take a knife and prickle it with your fork or your knife, and that's how you would know. If the knife goes through, it's they are ready to serve. If you want them to cook longer, just leave them for a little longer. So now, like I said, the vegetables are more or less done. What I'll do is I'll put some chickpeas, and like chickpeas in a tin, they are always, always really, they just need warming up. So I'll show you how this is looking. Oops, it's steaming again. So this is how the pan is looking. Oops. So I still have I'll show you. This is how the aubergine looks when it's cooked. You see it's like shrinking but softer, but still firm. It's not like soggy or mushy. But if you like it s- uh, soggier or softer, you can just leave it to cook for longer. The courgette, again, it's really, you can see it's getting softer. I can see it's not inside it's soft, but outside it's a bit still a bit firm. I'll just leave it for a bit longer. And the carrots, you take the knife and you just touch it and it goes in, which is good. And so all these vegetables are getting there. Sometimes you have in your family some of the children, they like something softer, or a husband so just go in the middle with this recipe, and you won't go wrong, because it would be nice um, once you start eating. And really, the the couscous is acts as Yorkshire pudding. That's how it becomes with all the vegetables. Uh, any questions, please put them down and I'll come back to you. Okay, so let's just start serving now. This, I'll put that down. I'll just leave it very low, and this is how I usually do the serving part of it. What I'll do is I'll take some vegetables and I'll put it in the middle, like so. A little bit of everything, and you can see. Then, because it's still, I'll just go all around and put all the gravy all over, and you are going to have the gravy within the, like, so. Sorry, you are not watching. So that's how we do it. It's when you come to do the vegetables, and like I said, the decoration of the vegetables, like that's how it's all decorated, as well as served. This like just the little carrots and little everything. I will leave it a little bit longer, so because some of the other vegetables are not quite there. I just when you do this kind of food, just give yourself a bit of time. Really, that's what you can do, and that's what's how it is done. If you see, so when you do it, and like for the chili, you usually just put it on the top there, and whoever wants the chili, they can take it. You can make you can put the gravy as you like, but don't make it soggy at this like this. If you want extra gravy, put it in the gravy boat and just use it on your plate, or so everyone could take some. Can eat, come in and eating with spoons, or you can like share in platter, really, or you can serve it on your plate and eat it individual, like persons. individually like that. Okay, well, I hope this is really giving you an idea how to do it and how it's done. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for attending, and I shall see you in the next time. Bye, everyone.